So when we were designing Farpoint, we really did start with the control scheme and the aim controller. Having that one-to-one control and being able to very quickly and easily aim around, that really sort of set how we would design the whole experience. So having that, separating it out from the direction which you can look and being able to aim in a different direction than you can look, as well as being able to have the movement be a different direction as well. So that all those combinations of how you can move through the world really impacted the type of game that we were making in VR. And when we were designing the levels, we really wanted to make sure that we kept everything in front of you as you were moving through. We looked at the design of the AI as well as the level design. So it's not strictly linear, and you can rotate, you can move in different directions, but we wanted to have a direction of focus. Where are the enemies going to come from? Where's the main combat direction going to be? And that sort of changes as you wind around the level, but it was really important to us that you're not just getting hit from every angle all around you. When we were looking at the length of the campaign and how much content we wanted to have, we really did want it to be a bigger VR experience. We wanted to feel like a true VR game. So it is a lengthier experience. But we also found that, a lot of the VR experiences out there, they would designed to keep your attention for short periods of time. And we did want to have one that would sort of keep your attention for longer periods of time, bigger goals, being able to play through it. So, it is designed in a way that you can very quickly get in and play, but we did want to give you specific objectives and give you a full narrative and full game experience. We do as much as possible to make it a comfortable experience when you're playing Farpoint. So looking at how you use the controller, the direction of movement, making sure that all of the sort of movement and rotation is predictable and it's in your control so that you are directly impacting it. All of those things were really important to us to really make it as comfortable as possible. So it did come down to just having that controller there, having it with you, being able to easily aim it around, and then having direct control over your direction of movement and where you're looking, and all of that really helps make it more comfortable. We've definitely found that the more people play Farpoint and they get used to the controls and how it moves, the more they use cover, they peek around corners, because you can do all of that in the game. You can go and you can peek, you can blind fire, so all of that, but people aren't necessarily used to doing that at the beginning. But as you play more of it and you encounter increasingly more challenging enemies, those type of things, you kind of do that naturally, and then people sort of take up on that and they use it more as they play the game. When we were creating Farpoint, it was really important to us to look at the narrative and the story, and we really wanted to tell a much more personal story. So really focus on the characters and their sort of emotional journey as they're trying to survive and escape this world. So they're stranded there, they have to figure out how to get off this world, which seems like an impossible task. And it sort of does focus on more of that emotional journey of them sort of figuring out how to get off that world. So it was really important to us to do a much more personal narrative, because that really played well in VR. We found that when you're there and you're seeing these characters in front of you, it feels like they're actually there, that you're really in the center of this story and they're all around you. And so we found that we could tell a much more personal narrative and get sort of that emotional connection with the characters in the world. We're a little biased because we're making a VR first-person shooter, but we certainly find it hard to go back to traditional first-person shooter games after playing with the aim controller and playing in VR and having that level of freedom that you just don't have in a normal game. It does make it hard to sort of go back to those traditional games where really you're just aiming a screen around and aiming the center of the screen. Those are great games, but games like Farpoint and using the aim controller in VR really takes it to the next level.